Welcome to Acton in Focus. I'm Vivian Kopsinger-Birchall, your host, and my special guest is Holly Kouvo, a longtime member of ActonTV. Holly, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you, Vivian. It's great to be here.
It's exciting to be here with you, and especially in a different capacity. Usually you're you're in front of the camera, teaching us some healthy habits in terms of food and cuisine. But for the purposes of our viewers, could you kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do, including what you do here at ActonTV?
Sure. So Holly Kouvo, my business is Fitting Fitness In, and I am a functional aging specialist, a brain health trainer, a personal trainer, a nutrition specialist. My show here at Get Healthy with Holly is Get Healthy with Holly, and I focus on healthy habits, like you said, whether it's exercise or eating healthy. And that show has over 2 million viewers nationwide.
Wow, 2 million viewers. That's a lot. Yeah. When you say functional aging, is that what you said, the terms you used? What does that mean?
So my focus is on helping people age actively,
okay,
being an active ager and being able to function longer in life. So I'm not going to worry about how heavy can you lift. I'm going to worry about and teach you lift to make it you have the maximum strength that you need to do all of your activities of daily living and be able to go out and have fun.
And when you say, you know, you're focusing on active aging, is there a particular demographic that you're focusing on in terms of the tips that you provide?
Yes. So I focus on people 50 and above.
Okay, 50 and above.
Ages 50 and over, yeah.
That's very, very specific, age group. So what led you to focus on this age group?
Well, that's interesting because when I first started out, and my business now is 25 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
We're in our 25th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And I started out helping people lose hundreds of pounds.
Okay.
A lot of weight. And my first book was focused on that. But then about 15 years ago, I switched. My mom had gotten diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Oh,
my dad had heart disease. And so I was like, I need to focus on helping people live healthier, longer lives. And that's when I became a brain health trainer, one of the first certified brain health trainers in the country. And there's a lot that you can do to keep your brain healthy. And there's exercises that affect certain parts of your brain. I just thought it was so interesting.
Right.
And now I carry that through in all my classes.
Right, and you have, of course, in the studio, you usually give tips on how to eat healthy, you know, for to age the brain in a better condition, for lack of a better word.
Right.
But what inspired you to start writing and, you know, go beyond the exercises and the cuisine?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So my latest book, Fitting Fitness In, to stay fit, sharp, and independent as you age, kind of pulls all of that together, the exercise, the nutrition, the brain, and balance. Because when you improve your cognitive abilities, it improves your balance. And when you improve your balance, it improves your cognitive abilities. So I teach a brains and balance class that works on both of those. So I wrote another book because I do a lot of speaking. And one of my clients is a PR person, and she said, well, you should write a book so that you have that, and it helps with your speaking engagements. You can sell it in the back of the room, or it's just good promotion of what you do.
And what has that journey been like, trying to translate everything you do outside of, you know, be it in the training classes, speaking engagements, or the cooking shows, into a book?
It's interesting. I find it hard to write because I don't have a lot of free time. And most of the time I go away for a weekend and just me and stay in a cabin and just write. So then I'm not distracted. But you know, you do your outline of this is what I want to cover, this is what I want to cover, and then I just kind of go through. It's pretty much like what I do in my classes.
But are there times where you think you're going to write about something and then you pivot completely?
Sometimes. I love to include a lot of stories in there of my clients, and I think that engages the reader more. So that's where I'll go off on a little tangent. I'll say, oh, wait a minute, I have to write in this, what happened to this person, and how that relates to what we're doing in the book now.
And how long does it take you to write a book? And I'll talk about the current book that you have on Amazon.
Well, it took me a year.
Okay.
Because I had so many things going on this year. And I can't sit still that long. I can't sit still for so many hours. And let me tell you, when you write a book, you write, you edit, you write, you edit, you write, you edit. I mean, I must have printed it out 20 times and edited. I can do some editing online, but I like to see it. I have to see it to edit it. And there's a lot of editing.
Many people get intimidated by the thought of writing a book. What are some of the baby steps you'd advise one to take, or from your experience, to get the book started?
So there was a quote: "Write like crazy, edit like a maniac," or something like that. So just start writing and just write. Don't worry about the grammar at that time. Just get your thoughts down, and then because you're going to go back over it and over it and over it and perfect it. But just sit down and start writing.
Okay. And are there specific details from the book that inspired you as you were writing it?
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. So I think that as I was writing it, I don't realize how some of my terms are technical or very specific. And so when I had people read it, they were like, well, I think you should do a glossary and explain what all of these are. Even though I do explain it in the book, but I put a glossary in the back. Because when I start getting into the brain information, it can get a little technical.
Geeky.
A little geeky. However, it depends on, some of my first readers, I sent it out to 20 people to read and get their feedback. And some of them were like, oh, it was kind of over my head. So I went through that fast. And some were like, oh, I was really getting into that. So it's hard to please everybody, but I wanted to put enough in there so people could realize the difference you can make with exercise in the different parts of your brain.
Right, and one of the reasons I ask, that I'm first of all grateful that you mentioned that, is that for a book, the audience is going to be broad in terms of who has access to it or who needs this information, and of course, language sometimes determines whether people are going to consume the content or not. Like
Right.
Some of it becomes too technical, some of it. So how do you draw the balance, or how did you try to draw that balance between the technical stuff and the simplifying the book in a way that anyone can consume the knowledge?
Right. Well, so it is stuff that I talk about in my classes. And so I just bring it down to, okay, I'm having a conversation with somebody, and this is the language in the conversation.
Okay.
So as opposed to I'm talking to a doctor, a medical doctor, or a neurologist, and having a conversation with him, I'm having a conversation with one of my 65-year-old or 70-year-old clients.
Right.
And that's how I'm going to talk to them.
And just to dig back into your background, what kind of training did you get in order for you to do the kind of work that you do?
So I am a certified personal trainer from American Fitness Association of America, or Aerobics and Fitness Association of America, and a personal trainer from them. I'm certified functional aging specialist from the Functional Aging Institute, and certified brain health trainer, also from at that time was the Functional Aging Institute. So I have a lot of certifications. It's been 25 years, and I always educating. I have to recertify every 2 years, so I'm always learning more. And you just, as you're doing it, you learn some tricks of the trades.
Right. And so what are some of the thoughts of what's your vision going forward in the next 2, 3, 5 years? Is it to continue authoring more books or doing all the above things?
I think all of the above. I'm actually starting next week to record it in an audiobook.
That's exciting.
But what I love doing is speaking and motivating a lot of people. So when I do my speaking, I can motivate so many more people. And just giving them little tips like, do 20 push-ups a day. Start push-ups against the wall, then push-ups against the counter. You don't have to get down on the floor. But that 20 push-ups a day makes a huge difference in your strength, especially your upper body strength. So yeah, I want to continue that. There may be another book in there. I have the series now with 2 in the series, so there may be another book. Probably not for a few more years because it's a long process and I need a break from it. But yeah.
I need some of that motivation. But, I'm also, of course, trying to selfishly think of those who are not yet 50. What are some of the things that, we could take away from your targeted age group of 50 and above?
I mean, this book I was on a podcast a month ago for college students, because what you do now affects how you age later. So it's always, exercise, eat healthy, know the right foods to eat. You actually start losing your sense of balance at age 27.
And in your research over the years, have you noticed any variations or trends, in aging based on the different demographics or ancestry?
Well, that's interesting.
I just thought of it right now. So
yeah, I think it's more of how active you are.
Okay.
The more active you are, the better you age.
Okay.
The less active you are, the more you end up having health issues.
Got it.
So even it's just get out and walk for a half hour a day. Move. Your body was made to move. It wasn't made to just sit for 5, 6, 7 hours. And that's tough when you're working in an office.
That's true. That's true. Well, where can people find your book?
Well, they can go to my website, fittingfitnessin.com, and there's a tab for the books. They're both up on Amazon. As a matter of fact, it was Amazon bestseller a week ago. So, yes, I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations. Is there anything we haven't talked about your book or your work that you'd like to tell our viewers?
No, I think that I just want to motivate people to exercise. Fitness is a fountain of youth. And when you are moving and you're, doing things with your body, it's good for your brain as well. It's not just the exercise, it's good for your brain as well.
Fitness, healthy eating. Well, there's a lot to take away from you and the work that you do, but I would like to say, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
On all your work achievements. And thank you for being a guest here on Acton in Focus. And thank you for being a member of ActonTV, an active member who has produced so many shows here.
Yeah, 62 episodes now.
62 episodes. Anyway, thank you again, Holly.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, you can reach out to Holly through her website or get to her website that she has mentioned. Pick yourself a copy of the book and learn how to stay active for healthy aging. But for now, thank you for watching. Till next time.